Yes, we probably do need a striker. No, we don't need any more centre-backs.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Right, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, friend, in these certainly turbulent times for Chelsea. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. People are talking about Chelsea because another deflating performance against Brentford in the league this weekend has made people think, what do Chelsea need? I've spoken about that a little bit more at length in my previous upload, where I speak about tactical formation issues and indeed just a little bit of seniority in the front line, someone to take responsibility, but maybe that is finishers. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed a couple of things for us, and we're going to talk about both of those today, citing an article on the Mirror, which is referencing Calcio Mercato. Romelu Lukaku, a twist there with Roma, involving former Chelsea striker Tammy Abraham. Also, Chelsea are looking at centre-backs as well. Anyway, please do support the content by dropping a like. You're welcome to subscribe if you want to. Hit the bell if you do. Let's get into it. So yeah, Fabrizio Romano, transfer guru, has confirmed that Chelsea and Manchester United are both looking at similar targets. They both want a centre-back. Now, I get it. Man United are playing Johnny Evans all the time, which, yeah, fair enough, you need a centre-back. And Chelsea are selling Trevoh Chalobah. It's the point of no return, seemingly, for this kid. Shame, we won't go over that again. We've spoken about that at length. Chelsea realise they probably have an asset in Chalobah who is a desired player for buyers, and that's a big tick for one. And the main big tick is he's an academy graduate that represents pure profit. That maybe Mauricio Pochettino isn't overly buzzed about. Okay, like, Thiago Silva we're relying on all the time. Brother is, I feel like I should say the word literally. He's literally 39. I mean, it sounds peculiar saying that, but I just want to assert to the point where he's literally nearly 40. And he's playing for Chelsea in the Premier League. It's an amazing feat for the Brazilian, but come on. But the truth is, maybe, I guess, if you're thinking, right, Thiago Silva gone, Trevoh Chalobah gone, bring one in. But we've got centre-backs, bro. You know, we've got centre-backs. Left-hand side, Badiashile, Levi Colwill. Right-hand side, Disasi, Wesley Fofana. I shan't forget my boy, Wesley Fofana. He's such a good centre-back. Chelsea spent 69 million quid on him. Many thought it was thought for a while that he's the best young centre-back in the league, could become the best centre-back in the league. I shan't, let this go. He is excellent. That's 4 centre-backs. I say young, Disasi's 25, but for centre-backs, if you go to 39 like Thiago Silva, it's fine. Apparently it's a big priority for Chelsea signing a centre-back, which I don't understand. Maybe this is part of the grand scheme of Project 2030, or maybe it's not even a Project 2030 youth thing. Maybe it's just this directors, they keep themselves busy in the background making all these plans, big chalkboard, plan, while we just die on our asses on the pitch, lose games to Brentford, getting mugged off by Brentford fans, and rightly so. They've touched us up 3 times in their own backyard. They deserve every song they sing. They deserve a 3-hour live-action theatre piece to mug us off, because they are Brentford and they are absolutely and constantly embarrassing Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So yes, good luck to them, those bastards, those ruddy little bees. Look, centre-backs, it's the last thing you want to hear, really, isn't it? When you're like not scoring goals, you're doing. I saw some metrics today. I was thinking of, I might pull up for a video in the coming days about how Chelsea is still. I've got like a hair in my nose ring and it's really like tickling. I saw some stats that continue the theme of, wow, Chelsea's approach play is excellent. It's like unparalleled in terms of how good it is. And I said it again, the first 40 minutes of games, we do look really good. Oh, look at us, we're Chelsea. We can knock it about really well. Ping pong, tick, 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 tick. Oh, are we going to score? We may do. We probably won't. And yes, we've lost. But you can see that there is moments there. I go into detail with this in my previous upload. Consider watching it if you want. What I think is the main problem with Chelsea. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments about centre-back. Who would you like us to sign? And what do you think? And let's move on and talk about goals. What are goals, you ask me? Well, I'm not so sure. It's been such a while since I've seen them. Just a little bit, but I think it's important to note. Yes, we played really well against Arsenal, and we should have won that game in terms of how we set up tactically and dedication of the players. But we scored 2 goals. One was a penalty, and one was a scuffed cross. I don't care what you man say. I love Mikhailo Mudryk. He's an amazing player. He's going to be great for Chelsea. He tried to find Sterling at the back posts, sliced across his the ball and accidentally looped it in. So we don't score goals that we're trying to score in open play. So it remains the problem, right, scoring goals, even when we're playing well. And yes, Brentford for 40 minutes we played well. Pochettino himself says we need to be, clinical, yes, but he says a little bit nasty, and I like that. You do need to be a little bit nasty. I know he hasn't retired yet, but as a coach, let's bring Diego Costa back as a coach and tell our players how to behave in the 18-yard box. Do this! Be a see you next Tuesday. Be unpleasant. Be nasty. Heck, be a little bit dirty. And yes. So strikers. Nico Jackson getting involved with a little bit of, mouth stuff with a fan. Pochettino intervening in that game against Brentford. The pressure clearly getting to Nico. I've said it before, said it again. He's a young player. Was a winger converted striker playing for Villarreal. They're a great club in their own way, but they're a small club. And now he's Chelsea's number 9, And everyone's hoping he's a Didier Drogba regen. It's too much pressure for the kid. He's feeling it. And Chelsea need to buy a striker. So, who are they going to sign? Well, Romelu Lukaku, who's doing pretty well for Roma, scoring goals. He obviously doesn't want to return to Chelsea. And the Mirror writes, Romelu Lukaku swap deal takes shape as Chelsea transfer priority made clear. Let's jump in. Roma are weighing up offering Tammy Abraham in a direct exchange to sign Romelu Lukaku from Chelsea next summer. This is interesting. Remember, Tammy Abraham has a £72 million buyout clause. Romelu Lukaku has a £37 million buyout clause. So the value in terms of buyout clauses, Tammy's worth half. So a direct exchange is a very interesting thing here. The Blues have prioritised the striker's exit in the summer after it was revealed he's not talking to the club's new boss Pochettino. God, Lukaku is an absolute penis, isn't he? And was training separately from his teammates. He eventually joined Roma on a season-long loan arrangement with no option to make it a permanent move. The West London club reached an agreement with Lukaku that they will sell him next summer should they receive the fee of £37 million, which I believe is 40 million euros. That would be a little over a third of the fee they paid for the striker initially from Inter, then a club record of £97.5 million. But would still likely be beyond the Italian capital club. So he is doing well at Roma. Obviously, he's about to play Inter, and they're going to apparently blow whistles at him, which is very interesting. Who knows? I might even talk about that on the second channel, Football Yannick. So the 30-year-old in Lukaku has impressed in the early stages of the campaign with the Giallorossi, for whom he has bagged 8 goals in 10 appearances. That is good. That reunited him with Jose Mourinho, who of course had him at Chelsea and Man United, and now he's got him at Roma. A report in Calcio Mercato outlines that the Roma are seeking an alternative to paying the £37 million fee up front for Lukaku. Instead, they may offer Tammy Abraham, who they signed from Chelsea in 2021, in a swap move for the Belgian to offset any fee. Din, din, din. Having netted 30 goals in a season and a half at Chelsea, following multiple prolific loans spells away from Stamford Bridge. Yeah, at Bristol City he was really good, at Aston Villa he was really good, but it was all Championship. We'll talk more about Tammy in just a second. Abraham bagged an impressive, 27 goals on his debut season in Rome, but has struggled in the second campaign, netting just 9 goals in, wait for it, 54 matches. That is 1 goal in 6, basically, per 6 games. Jesus. Abraham suffered an ACL, of course, on the final day of the Serie A season, having been carried off on a stretcher on their victory against Spezia at the Stadio Olimpico. That ensures the striker will be out of action for at least the remainder of the calendar year. Although ACL injuries can be significantly longer. So what, January? Tammy Abraham? Look, before we continue, Tammy Abraham scored 15 Premier League goals for Frank Lampard's Chelsea. Now, there was a good feeling about Frank Lampard's Chelsea in terms of goal scoring. It was just sort of like, yeah, we concede loads, but we score quite a few and we're fun. We don't have that. And there was a sort of naivety. We've got like a bad juvenile naivety at the moment where we panic and don't score goals. But back then it was kind of like the good type where they just believed in themselves and made mistakes and expressed themselves. Tammy Abraham scored 15 non-penalty goals. Jorginho was on penalties. Had Tammy Abraham been on penalties, and I think he can score the odd penalty, I've said this before, but hot dog, I'm going to say it again. Add, say, 4 penalty goals to a Premier League campaign. Absolutely, why not? That's totally fair. And then you could say he scored 19 Premier League goals. Who knows? Maybe even scores 5 penalties across the campaign. That's probably doable. 20, you could be on 20 Premier League goals. That's what Ivan Toney did for Brentford last season, and now everyone wants to pay 80 million quid for him. So Tammy did do well. Let's not rewrite history. He was very frustrating, but he was young. But he's not young anymore. He's like 26 now, I think. However, Abraham's ongoing fitness issues may ensure that Chelsea are not keen on taking a plunge to re-sign the striker, who emerged through their famed youth system, and is famed. It does present the Blues with a dilemma on how to deal with Lukaku beyond this season. It appears that the Belgian has no future at Stamford Bridge, and they are unlikely to be sanctioning a 3rd successive loan. Absolutely no friggin' way. Whether any club will take the plunge on the £37 million asking price remains to be seen, while Roma would love to make the switch permanent. Yeah, man, if Lukaku, he's the top scorer in the, the Euros qualifiers, he's the top scorer. He still scores loads of goals for his country, like loads. So if everyone's looking at Lukaku going, wow, he's scored millions of goals for Belgium and continues to score regularly for Belgium. He's doing well at Roma, and, you know, it looks good. The thing is with Lukaku, we'll talk about Tammy in a second, but the thing is with Lukaku, he is his own worst enemy. Because there are bigger clubs that wanted him, that I still don't understand why he just turned his back on Inter, who probably, Lautaro's on absolute flames. And by the way, Lautaro's on 11, before they've even kicked off this weekend, Lautaro's on 11 goals in the league already with assists. He's got a goal every 65 minutes. He enjoyed an insane campaign, last campaign. Lautaro Martinez is like the form, everyone talks about Osimhen, but for me, he's the one in Italy, Lautaro is. Maybe Osimhen's more of like a true number 9. But Lautaro is an absolute beast, goal scorer, insane goal scorer. But let's not be seduced by Serie A goal scorers anymore. So they probably want to sell him into and make ridiculous amounts of money because they always need money because their financial position isn't strong. He had Inter that wanted him. He had Juventus that wanted him. And Juventus are currently top of Serie A, and they can, if they want a striker, they'll look at, Lukaku, know he can score in Serie A, he can score in Italy. If Lukaku finishes the campaign and does well and, scores a bunch of goals in Europe and in the league, Serie A, then someone is going to spend 37 million quid for him. It's not that much, and he's a high-profile name. If he went to Saudi, if he just bit the bullet and went to Saudi Arabia and accepted the bag, they would love him out there. His ego would be stroked appropriately. I know PSG signed Kolo Muani, but, he had PSG written all over him for so long. Also, and I know they've got Kolo Muani now, so they're probably fine, but Mbappe wanted to play on the left. He'll be gone next summer, so I don't even know I'm talking about him. But, you know, he wanted a striker. He's not a really good target man, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about Lukaku, but... Look, just keep scoring goals. Someone will buy you. But we were really, really, really reluctant to loan him out again last summer, and we did it. It can't happen again. You got to flog this, brother. Do we want Tammy Abraham? Let's talk about Tammy Abraham. You shouldn't go back, should you? It was a nice idea that maybe he goes to Syria, scores a bunch of goals, comes back, and, you know, the prodigal son returns again and again and again, Lukaku and Tammy. But Tammy, he's not what we need, is he? He's not this, like, Project 2030 when we just buy exclusively fetuses. And to be honest, you know, freaking David Washington came on. I'm sure he's a great player. We haven't had a chance to probably look at him. Brewery is young. Nico Jackson's young. I'm done with the young strikers. We need probably a striker. I mean, I think Tammy's nearly like Ivan Toney's age anyway. I don't think Tammy Abraham's the answer. Even if he comes back and scores a few goals. Genuinely, if he was fit, obviously he's got an ACL at the moment. I think because of we've seen him in the Premier League score goals. If someone said to me, Jan, who are you starting at the moment, Tammy Abraham or Nico Jackson? I'll probably start Tammy Abraham. And yes, it's nice, romantic, but actually what that demonstrates is that we're on our freaking knees here, bro. But Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Chelsea's priority, as well as this peculiar centre-back signing, is we do want to sign a centre-forward. So, praise all your respective gods. What do you think? I put out to you guys, the collective football therapy fan faithful. I'll be very interested in learning your opinions, your educated opinions, because I find the football community here on the channel is a very, very good one. So I'll be very interested in reading your comments. Thank you for continuing to support the content, liking and subscribing. And hopefully see you guys back here very soon. And remember, I love you very much.